Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. The leftist virtue signaling has just gotten completely out of control. And you know how I know this? You know how I know it's all gone too far? Because now, well, we've got these leftoid activists virtue signaling themselves directly into committing felonies. I guess virtue signaling straight to frickin' prison.
Right to jail.
Yep, I think some of these people are taking the hashtag resistance LARP maybe a little bit too seriously. And now, some would say finally, the hammer is coming down. For years, these leftoids have acted like illegal immigration is some sort of moral crusade. They've convinced themselves that they're on the right side of history, and in defense of illegal migration, they've lied, obstructed, and even gone as far to aid and abet illegal immigrants, which I would argue is aiding and abetting the cartels, but anyways, we'll get into that later, and now it's all starting to bite them in the behind. We got Tom Homan now confirming that the DOJ has in fact identified the individual, or possible individuals, who have been leaking ICE raid information, and of course those people are going to be criminally charged. Nice resistance. These clowns are protecting the cartels, and now probably in some woke protest, and now they're going to be seeing a prison cell pretty soon. Tom Homan is not messing around. He was serious when he said that this would happen, but the left simply doesn't want to listen. They're too caught up in their activist bubble. And actually, it's got me thinking that, maybe Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Ilhan Omar might be the next suspects on the list. Let's have a conversation about this continued lawless Democrat behavior. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so here's the first clip that I want to show you guys. Take a look at this.
Tom, where are these leaks coming from?
We think it's coming from inside, and we know the first leak of Aurora is under current investigation. We think we identified that person under investigation right now. The California leak, Secretary Noem, she's correct. Some of the information we're receiving tends to lead toward the FBI. But I talked to the Deputy Attorney General all this weekend. They've opened up a criminal investigation, and they have promised that not only this person lose their job and lose their pension, they're going to go to jail.
Well, there you have it. Somebody's about to FAFO big time. And let's be absolutely clear as to what's going on here. This isn't just some harmless leak. These were leaks that sabotaged ICE operations in their efforts targeting violent gang members. Gang members who pose a very significant threat to the American public.
Mayorkas signed an order that said for 18 months they were going to extend this protection to people that are on temporary protected status, which meant they were going to be able to stay here and violate our laws for another 18 months, and we stopped that. Today we signed an executive order within the Department of Homeland Security in a direction that we were not going to follow through on what he did to tie our hands, that we are going to follow the process, evaluate all of these individuals that are in our country, including the Venezuelans that are here and members of TDA.
And now you mean to tell me that there was an individual somewhere in the federal government that warned these people ahead of time? This is how bad things have gotten. And then we have people like Jen Psaki and other Democrats talking about how unprecedented and how unacceptable it is that Donald Trump is doing a purge at these departments. I mean, come on. There are so many bad actors in these departments, unelected individuals, just bureaucrats who are actively leaking and attempting to sabotage Donald Trump's efforts to pursue the mandate that the American voters gave him. The actions that this administration is taking to purge these bureaus of these activist resistance folks is totally justified. And in fact, I don't even think it's going far enough. A clear message must be sent by this administration that this lawless behavior and this aiding and abetting of cartels has to stop. In my view, it can't just be the leaker. Again, it's the same standard that Democrats laid out. Nobody is above the law. And that should apply to all the mayors who have enacted these sanctuary city policies that have essentially protected criminals. Those individuals should absolutely be held accountable. And the latest and probably one of the most shocking part of this story is the Democrat politicians who have been openly advising illegal migrants on how to evade ICE. We've got Ilhan Omar, for instance.
Waxaan ula talinayaa dadka Soomaalida ah haddii ay maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg ICE ay isku dayaan inay ku su'aalaan muku qasban tihid inaad su'aalahooda aad ka jawaabtid waxaad dhihi kartaa lawyer aan ii advice gareey inaanan ku jawaabin qasab ma aha magacaaga iyo sharciga ku joogtid iyo waxaas oo dhan iisa ku imaataybo inaad kala hadashid marka baro sharciyada iskuna diyaari in aad maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg aadan dadkaaniiti aadan u sheegin information aadan rabin inay ogaadaan.
Who seems to be using her platform to advise illegal migrants on how to stay in the country illegally. Then, of course, we've got Governor Chris Murphy.
I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Then we've got Dan Goldman, who allegedly was advising illegal Chinese immigrants on how to stay in the country.
You have the right to remain silent. And in most cases, ICE cannot search you or your things without your consent. In all circumstances, you have the right to videotape the officers so long as you don't interfere with their work. If an immigration officer comes to your door, you do not have to open it. Always ask if they have a judicial, court-ordered arrest warrant. If an immigration officer comes to your place of work, you do not have to answer their questions.
Then, of course, we've got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez basically doing the exact same thing.
When one of these things comes to your backyard, you can resist. Know your rights. That's one tangible thing you can do that I want you to do. And that means know your rights if you are a US citizen as well. Because what ICE tries to do is that they rely on people not knowing their rights in order to enter buildings, in order to search workplaces, etc. What you can do is protect people around you and also make sure that you are slowing down this system. The slower they operate, the less they can break.
And not only was AOC telling illegal migrants not to cooperate with ICE, but she was also allegedly passing around pamphlets instructing them on how to avoid arrest. Here's the pamphlet in question, which she posted on her Instagram. I've got the English and Spanish version side by side here. You could pause the video and go ahead and read it. You know, something has to be done. These people are aiding and abetting the cartels. And in the case of the government employee who leaked the ICE raid information, it could be argued that that individual was acting as an informant to the cartels. I mean, this is serious stuff. I'm not talking about the bogus lawfare the Democrats engage in. No, these people are legitimately breaking the law. Let's be absolutely clear. Under Section 8 U.S. Code 1324, it is illegal to harbor, conceal, or shield illegal aliens from detention. And well, if you're encouraging illegal migrants and instructing them and showing them how to evade law enforcement, that's gotta be a violation of this law, no? Unless it specifically only applies to physically harboring, concealing, or shielding an illegal migrant. It's hard to say how this law would be interpreted or whether or not it applies, but either way, they're certainly aiding and abetting criminals, and that just has to stop. The lawlessness has to stop. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.